Hello, Stephen White, Trackboy89 from Steve Arts 89. Endgame. This is my proper review. All spoilers, going to talk about everything, so don't listen to this if you don't want to know what the hell happens in the movie. Although, it's not like many people are watching this, so I can say what the fuck everyone, I guess. Okay. Film. Yes, great. Loved it. Surprised. I did not like Infinity War. I thought it was all action. It was dumb. The characters weren't realistic. I didn't think the reactions, the way Thanos won, just the way people, just none of it worked. It was long. It was boring. I thought if this is real, all these characters die. This is the most depressing, miserable excuse for a movie ever. And if they don't, they all just got back in the next film. Then this is just the most pointless waste of hundreds of millions of dollars. Did nothing for me. Out of all the superhero films from the MCU, I hated it. This film is the total opposite. It takes time to deal with the emotional side of the repercussions, the fallout. The people are grieving, they are broken, the world is broken on such a level that 5 years later, because the film starts with Hawkeye playing for his family, quite happy to be out, have stepped out of the whole thing. And then they all disappear. His whole family got dusted, which is a bit unfair. It's supposed to be 50-50. He should have had someone left. He had no one. So that's how the film starts. It just opens with him and then goes into the credits after he is just standing there with nobody. And of course, Captain Marvel, she was sparingly used. It was quite a relief. There's been a lot of anxiety with a lot of people that she was going to be shoehorned in and save the day, and it was all going to be about her, and a lot of that, which I thought was going to happen, didn't. So I'm quite relieved that was a lot of just hater drama. She does save Tony Stark. He's on his little ship preparing to die, making his last little message to Gwynnie. Gwyneth. Gwynnie. I don't know why I call her that. Gwyneth Paltrow. I've never met the lady. She literally scoops up the ship, brings it down to the Avengers headquarters, and saves him. And that's where everything starts. They realise they've got Brie Larson, they've got Captain Marvel who can help her. Like she says, you've got me, you didn't have me before. And it just gets them motivated to do something, and they go after him. They find Thanos. He's basically just been a farmer out somewhere. He's found a planet. He's just gone there to be a hippie or something. I don't know. He's just like farming. They go there. They find out he's destroyed the Infinity Stones, so there's no way to go back. And he's burnt and damaged from doing that, and Thor cuts his head off. And then they're pretty much destroyed. It jumps 5 years from there, because I think it was only about a month after the actual dusting, the big snap, whatever they call it. I'm not a huge Marvel comic person, so I don't know a lot of the actual comic universe and what happened or what didn't happen, what people are calling it. But I don't want to get too lost in the story, but I want to try and get it all through. It jumps 5 years, and they literally have Captain America holding a support group for people who are dealing with loss, and they spend a lot of time dealing with just how broken people are. And the film really takes its time to let these scenes breathe, as someone else said. And they really do give the scenes time, and they take the time, and it pays off so much, because a lot of these films, people live and die, and it's very fast, it's all action, and you don't really get to spend any time with the repercussions, and it's very emotional. I cried. Now, I normally see movies by myself, and I'm sitting in the front row. I don't have to worry, because usually no one ever sits there. But of course, it was packed. I had people on either side of me, strangers I didn't know. And I had tears flowing down, but I couldn't. I really wanted to cry. I wanted to ugly cry, and I had to hold it back because obviously I don't want to freak out the people next to me. Because I've lost both my parents and my sister and a friend in the last couple of years, and I'm dealing with grief and loss. So all of that resonated with me a lot, and I didn't anticipate that actually. I was a little bit, oh shit, this is about loss. This is about grieving. This is about redemption. This is about a lot of deep emotional issues that they are handling responsibly and fully and giving the time instead of like if they were, normally these scenes would be cut out. They'd probably be scripted, maybe filmed and be cut out, but they just let it be 3 hours, and I'm grateful for that. But I had to hold back. There's a few scenes where for the most part they play for jokes, but he has a moment. One thing when you lose people is you just want to see them again. You want that one last moment, and a few of the characters get to have that moment in the film, and it's very triggering was for me anyway. And but I loved seeing these people have these opportunities, which if you've lost someone, everybody wants, and you don't always get. So that was really powerful. And a lot of people, if they haven't lost someone or haven't lost someone recently, that's not going to mean as much. But I don't think anyone won't get those scenes. And if you don't get those scenes and you're just, ugh, this is boring, I want to see like fights, where like, I don't know what to say to you. You need to like go find a soul somewhere because you don't have one. Okay, so God, let's get through the story. Okay, so very, very important rat is scurrying through the van with the time travel equipment in it from Ant-Man and sets him free after 5 years of being stuck, although that only was 5 hours, I think, for him in the quantum realm. I've got paper notes sitting on a pile of trebles, so forgive me if I have to look at my notes. It's a very long film and very complicated. I cannot remember it all. Now, he goes to headquarters and basically says, time travel exists. If we can go into the realm and come out at specific times, if we can work out how to work this, we can change the future. We can change the outcome of what happened. So that's basically just the whole film. They take on Thanos, they beat his ass, they kill him, but they can't do anything because he's destroyed the stones. The only way is to go back in time. So it's a time travel story. And they approach Tony Stark. Now, Tony Stark has had a daughter. Pepper survived. He had a daughter with her. He's happy and he's just like, I got my family. Everyone else's lives is fucked. I'm okay. I'm terrified that I could lose this, that I could have lost this. I just want to be with this. You know, so he doesn't want to get involved at all. So they go to him because they need someone to help him work out the quantum realm and the time travel. But he can't help himself. He does eventually work it out, and he goes back to them, and they work on it as a team, and eventually they go back in time, and they work out if we can get the Infinity Stones, we can snap everyone back. So they do all their research, and I like that the film spent time to do the research, do the work, actually see these people sorting out this situation, not just quick heroics, and I really enjoyed that. And eventually they work out there's 3 stones in New York at one time and 3 points in alien planets and that where they have to go to. So they all at one time go in with all the separate journeys, kind of Mission Impossible. But unfortunately, some of them work out, some of them do not. Nebula has some connection with her past self, where their networks connect, and she sees old Nebula sees what new Nebula knows, and she of course lets Thanos in on it because she's so desperate for his approval that they kidnap her, replace her, and send her back to the future. So, and she basically undermines everything, sabotages everything, and so what happens is they get the Infinity Stones. They bring them all back. Now, something that I thought was sad, because it pissed me off when Gamora went this way, but Black Widow sacrifices herself because in the future she basically has no one, and she had no one. She only had that family, and that family was broken of the Avengers. So she's with Hawkeye, and Hawkeye, of course, has a family. He has a future. So they fight like hell, but she wins. She sacrifices herself so he can get his family back, and it's very touching. And a lot of people are going to be pissed because I was thinking to myself, God, that's two main female characters we've lost who've sacrificed themselves. Yeah, like, why are we losing the women? We've got plenty of men. The women were the minority. Why are we losing them? I wasn't happy with that. But we do get Gamora back because past Gamora comes in the future. So we do get Gamora back, but she's not the Gamora that we had in the show, in the movies. She takes one look at Mr. Pratt and is like, I love that twat. Okay. So that's a kind of funny moment. He's affectionate with her and she kicks him in the balls twice. She gets them the second time. So whether they still have a romance, so I don't know if the third film is going to be sort of like a repeat of the first film, where they're sort of forming this family again and connecting again, because they've basically Harry Kim'd her, where they killed off the future Harry Kim and brought a Harry Kim from another reality in Star Trek. Yep. So they get through all of this, they get to the future. The Hulk puts on the gauntlet, snaps everyone back. Wow. But of course we know there's 30-40 minutes left. And of course Thanos comes into the future and he blows the headquarters to a hole in the ground. Everyone survives though. And eventually, when we just think it's too late and there's no hope, everyone from the MCU who's been saved, who has come back, comes through all these portals, which I think were from Doctor Strange. I don't know, everyone from Wakanda to just everyone is there. And it's because Thanos' whole army is there, and it's just the Avengers facing him, and they're all having the hell kicked out of them. Then everyone comes in, and it is just the epic fan payoff, giant battle, like Lord of the Rings, except every person fighting is someone we know, and it's epic and it's great. And that's when Captain Marvel comes in, and they use her sparingly. As I said, she blows up the ship, and she does take on Thanos, and she's powerful. She almost gets the glove off him because they're fighting. It's all about getting the glove, and he gets it for a point. He puts it on, and she's trying to get it back off, and she can't get it back off. But then Tony Stark somehow tackles him and somehow gets all of the stones in his glove, like it was built to take them. And he sacrifices himself. He actually says, I'm in. I'm all in. He's in it. He sacrifices himself, his future with his daughter, and his it's very Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, The Needs of the Many, and he finally, because the film series started with him in 2008, and he was a selfish a-hole and I hated him, and he finally got to the point where he was willing to sacrifice himself and be a real hero, and that's how the film ends. Captain Marvel doesn't save everything. The character who has earned it with his development saves the day. And the other person who sacrifices on some level is, or we lose, is Captain America. He takes the stones back and decides to stay with, God, what was her name? Carter, Peggy Carter. He stays with Peggy Carter, and after he doesn't return like they're expecting him to from the time machine, he shows up as an old man who I guess just came there knowing he had to be there, and lets them know that he stayed and that all the stones went back. And that's where the film pretty much ends. We have Tony's funeral, where every Marvel character ever shows up, and this film ends with Captain Marvel dancing in the 40s or the 50s in his living room with Peggy. And it's very beautiful that Tony sacrificed himself. He was selfless. His hero's journey came all the way around, and he learnt something. He evolved. He became someone. He saved everyone. He redeemed himself on every level. And Captain America, after saving everyone, went back and got to spend his life the way he wished he had. And it has a lot of emotional resonance, and it's a really beautiful film. It's not a throwaway big popcorn action film. It's got all that, but it's balanced. And I really like the film, and I give it 9 if you're going to rate it. And I'm going to keep my little video up 15 minutes. That's basically what happens. That's how I feel about it. That's all you need to know. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And please feel free to like, subscribe, and comments. I'd love to know what people think of the film as well. So thanks. Bye.